Ruben Allende, and we're rolling out a podcast for the very first time, of one of many to come. The name of the podcast is GFI times Creas, or Creas times GFI, or GFI X Creas, however you want to see it, however you want to say it. We are hoping to make history with this podcast. If we do or we don't, at least we try. What this podcast is going to be about would be real estate financing, credit restoration, how to create a hobby to help you distress, because a lot of us stress. Some of us have anxiety, some of us have depression, but there's ways around that. Self-discipline, and many other things that we'll be talking about, and they're all in a sense related not just to real estate, but just to humanity, I guess. You know, all of us take on different things in life, and we've all decided to do real estate. Again, my name is Ruben Allende. I'm the real estate broker, and I'll let Hector introduce himself, and we'll go from Hector on to Alexis.
My name is Hector. I'm a realtor here at Golden Feather Investments.
My name's Alexis. I'm a realtor here at Golden Feather Investments as well.
My name is Kirsten. I'm also a realtor here.
My name is Jackie, and I'm also a realtor.
Hi, my name is Rafael, and I'm also a realtor here at GFI.
So with that being said, Hector is going to be the person asking questions for this podcast, and then later on you guys decide if you guys want to take turns with that, but I won't.
But you guys can chime in whenever we do like a little roundtable discussion. Obviously, part of the podcast is real estate. So how about we just talk about how we first got into real estate and why?
I got into real estate. Funny story. It actually started as for fun because I was bored during quarantine.
Right.
So I just signed up, and I used to go on TikTok a lot, and I would see like random like realtors like posting stuff or talking about the stuff. So from there, I signed up online, and then like every like week or so, if I was bored of something, I would just like do a chapter. Yeah. And then from there, it became a thing. And then Jackie opened up the doors for me here, and then Ruben took me in and introduced me more to the real estate. He became my mentor. He taught me everything I know now, which I'm really thankful for. I didn't really think, I knew that I wanted a mentor, and I knew how hard it was to find one too. And having like the opportunity like for him to like taking the time every morning, like an hour or 2 hours to like go over stuff and like guide me through the right path. It's been really helpful, and I actually appreciate that a lot.
It's been my pleasure.
The way I started was basically my second semester of senior year. I started this job as a assistant at a real estate office, which I just saw it as a little job. I was like, oh yay, I don't have to work at like something that kind of like McDonald's where I had to actually be doing something. And then the office was more like, oh, I just sing, do a little paperwork. And then I ended up getting the hang of it and finding love for it. So then we were at brunch one day, and he goes, oh, my goal this year is to sell a house. And I was like, you're in real estate? And then he's like, yeah, I just signed up for my classes. And I was like, what? I was already like 20 or 21 at this point, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I not getting my license as well, you know, because I was kind of comfortable and just going to school. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sign up, send me the link. And then he sends me the link, we all both sign up, and then now we're here.
So before I moved to California, I was in Oregon, and I kind of was exploring real estate. I saw it on TikTok too, like Rafi said. I was like, oh, this looks kind of fun. And then I moved to California and met Alexis, and come to find out her father's the broker of a brokerage. And so I was like, oh, okay, this could be something. And so there was the opportunity sitting right in front of me. I was like, okay, I guess this is my shot. And luckily, Ruben, he took me in with open arms also at this brokerage, and so everything has just fallen into place.
Okay, for me, I used to play softball since I was 5. And I ended up playing college softball, but then I had a lot of injuries, so I wasn't sure what pathway I was going to take, because my pathway was kind of more in like the science industry. And then my dad was like, you know, we need someone to take over this brokerage. Like, he did a lot to start this brokerage, and I didn't want it to go to nothing, like all this stuff that he's done to keep it running, to manage it well. So I was like, you know what, like maybe it's just a sign for me to take over the brokerage. So then I started kind of looking up like classes and like how to get your license, and then he would like motivate me because at this time I lived in San Diego, so he would like motivate me to get my license, and like he would push me and be like, you know, you gotta study hard, it's not something that's easy. So I was like, okay, and like I kind of just brushed it off. I'm not gonna lie, sorry. And then when I moved back to California, or I was in California. When I moved back to LA, I kind of started taking it seriously, and then I really found a passion for it. And I was like, you know what, like I want to be the child that takes over, and I want to keep the business running and take it to the next level. So that's how that started for me.
So for me, it was by accident and incident. So something happened at work. I used to work at Frito-Lay. I was a warehouse supervisor, and something happened. I guess people were stealing chips, pallets, and whatever. I did inventory, and I don't know how, but long story short, I got fired for stealing chips. I don't know how that happens, but my boss told me I should have sued because there was no case, but whatever. That's a whole other story for another day. My brother worked at a real estate office with my stepdad, and he would just tell me, why don't you come up and try, and I'm like looking at him like, I only have $3,000 in the bank, try? I don't think real estate's for me, I'm not a salesperson. But I ended up going up, I ended up meeting Rolly Macias, who I'm very thankful for. He interviewed me, talked to me. Now, I'm a blue-collar worker who dressed with not so baggy pants, but they weren't the nicest looking tailored pants, right, or shirts or whatever. So I had to go through a complete change and process to become a real estate agent. But when I spoke to Roland, I really didn't think I had sales in me. But he asked me what was my strength. I really didn't have a strength. I at least didn't know I had a strength. And he would ask me a bunch of questions. And the last one he asked me, are you good with women? And I said yes. That was my strong point at that time, and he's like, why don't you use that, apply that towards your clients, let them hear what they want to hear. And it was one of those things where like, okay, but I really didn't apply that because I didn't want them to hear what they wanted to hear. I wanted to learn passionately to be able to help people because I knew that I would make a difference in their life. But that's how I got into real estate. You know, it was by accident, and that incident in Frito-Lay is what got me there. So I think, firm believer that things happen for a reason, and I'm very excited to be doing this for 20 years, and I've been blessed.
Yeah, for me, real estate's really been a part of my whole life because my uncle, you are the broker, and my mom's an agent here as well.
And a partner at your home.
And a partner at your home real estate, correct. So like, I've always knew about real estate, and in the back of my mind, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is not for me, right?
Right.
But I was going through college, and I switched my majors like at least twice, and then I was like, okay, now I gotta figure out what I want to do. So I started coming here, I think, in the middle of last year.
Yep.
And then you just really instilled it to me, like, you know, what are you gonna do in life, and you know, what do you envision yourself doing, and what kind of life do you envision yourself living? So I was like, okay, let me give it a shot, and then I started coming to the weekly meetings, and then ever since then I've been here.
That's right.
Sure.
Cool.
As you guys know, we are a team, so we could just talk about, you know, a little story about how we met each other. If you guys want to go first.
Well, the way I met him is through my cousin. They were best friends. And well,
Our best friends.
when I had, so when I had, get that right. Okay, Joseph. When I had the interview, which was with Mr. Rubin, I asked if I can bring a friend along because he wanted to start real estate as well. So then the next day after my interview, he comes, and then he was part of the team. And then Hector, I met him here as well. And them two, I met them the first time when we all went to eat Chinese food. Do you guys remember that?
Was that at the Chinese table?
Yeah. And we were like 6 feet apart. Like.
Yeah.
But not because of COVID.
The table was too big.
Yeah.
For me, first time I met Jackie and Rafa was a morning meeting, right? To learn. That's the first time I met them. They were very shy that day. Like I was shy myself. I introduced myself to them, but didn't really speak to them as much. So I would say the first time I really got to know them was when we went to go study at a coffee shop. And then they really showed me what kind of people they are, genuine people, and they really helped me along the way. So that's the first time I met them.
With Lexi, you met her through family?
Through
Through relationship?
Yeah.
And Kate through Lex.
Yeah, there you go.
So for me, I met Hector in an incubator because his mom is my sister. So I saw him, he looked at me, gave me that I'm going to be a real estate agent. And I was like, okay,
Definitely.
I'll see you in about 22 years. 22, right?
22.
And Alexis, well, I saw her coming out of the womb. She looked at me with the same look, and I said, "Girl, you better." And she was like, "No, I want to do softball, and you're gonna coach me." And I said, "Oh, hell no!" But anyways, she's in real estate now, which I'm glad. Kirsten, I met her not too long ago, but my goodness, that young lady gave me the stare that kind of like intimidated me, and I'm used to doing the intimidation, but she looked at me like, "Girl, you ain't intimidated," and she was looking at me, talking to me, and I obviously met her through Alexis, and I can honestly say that, hey, I give you credit for that, even though that was a facade. That was
It
a
was a
pretty good
facade, for
facade,
sure.
you know. And I was there like, "Damn, girl," like, but I knew you were gonna do something, so got to do something with it if you're not intimidated by other older people, you know. But anyways, Jackie, the way I met Jackie. Well, a friend of mine, Veronica, calls me and tells me, which by the way, I don't just take any agents out there. You have to know someone to come in here. So I'm kind of exclusive, which is a good thing. And tells me, "Oh, hey, you know what? My son has his girlfriend, wants to get into real estate." And, you know, she let me know that it was his girlfriend and everything. Like, "Can you hook her up? Can you get her in?" And I said, "Sure, bring her in. Let's do it." And I think I called you, right? Did I call you?
Oh, I texted you.
You did, right? Okay, yeah. So here comes this little lady, right? I said little lady. I didn't say little old lady because you're young. And she sits in with myself and Yvonne. She sits in this couch, which, by the way, she's so petite that the couch looked like a freaking monster around her. I look like a California king size bed. But she sat there with confidence, you know, and I was asking her questions, and we're going back and forth. And she came from another office. Well, she was working at another office as an assistant, right? And she was going to school, and she said, "I want to get my real estate license." And I said to myself, as I see her there, I'm like, "Damn, you're going to go to school, you work at another office, and you want to get your real estate license?" Well, she proved that she did want to do all that. She was coming in early, I think 7:30, 8 in the morning, and then she would leave at 11 and sometimes 1 to go to her job and then come back and study. But I knew that she wanted it. When I see somebody has that drive, for me, it's like I'll go the extra mile for that person. And she was honest enough to tell me about maybe a week later or two that she was not the boyfriend, the girlfriend of my friend Veronica's son, and I guess it was all a lie just to get her in. But I'm glad she did. So that was a good lie. And then Ralphie, I met Ralphie through Jackie. Jackie had brought a couple of people to the table, but I knew that Ralphie was going to be different. I said, "This guy is going to want it." And thanks to Ralphie, Jackie started coming in even earlier, and they would be here from 7 to like 7, and she would leave and come back, and they've always been disciplined. I can say every single one of you guys has now become disciplined, and I can see, I kind of know your guys' schedule already, which is good. Do you have to be in here at a certain time? No, you don't. But I believe that the more you put into yourself, the more you're going to get out of it. Each and every single one of them is a licensed individual, which is their own corporation, right? And I see that every single one of you guys has a genuine quality about you guys, and I love them all. So, but yeah, that's how I met Ralphie, and I'm glad he came on board. And I knew that of the 4 that you brought, he would be there. So, but yeah.
And coming back to that funny story on the interview, he was asking me personal questions about the family, and he was like, "Oh, so Veronica tells me what happened to his second son?" But he said the name, and I was like, "Who's that?" And he was like, "Her second son." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's there, you know." And then that's when I was like, "Yeah, I need to come clean and tell him that."
Because I was going to ask you more, girl.
Yeah, I was like, he's probably going to be asking me more questions about them, and I'm going to sound kind of like I'm lying, so I'm just going to come clean.
Her not being able to sleep over it.
Yeah.
Did it ever have a clue in your head?
No, but it was just, she gave me that kind of like response that was kind of like vague, right? So I was like, yeah, maybe she's not the girlfriend, maybe she's the lover.
No. You kind of caught on because my reaction was like, because my face is out. When I have a reaction, you can tell.
You know what?
So my face was like,
yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, he's okay. He's fine."
It's funny too because before I met Jackie, I remember you had told me like, "Oh, be careful because she has a boyfriend."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I wasn't gonna do anything about it anyway, but that was just funny. And then when I talked to her at the conference and she told me she didn't have a boyfriend, I was confused because I was like, okay, they told me she did, and she told me she did. I was like, ooh.
You said she's a real player.
I was like, she's like, no. You're a pimp. I was like, all right. Why don't we talk about what motivates us? Like, what's our mission in life?
My purpose in life.
You may not know it yet.
I don't.
You may not know it yet.
I don't know it. I don't know my purpose in life, but I do have a purpose. I think I am very positive.
Okay.
I'm a very positive person, and
I can attest to it.
sometimes I feel like
Affirm.
my purpose in life is like to bring the most out of others.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like help them
Yeah.
smile, give them joy. I mean, I give my joy myself within. I'm not like
Yeah.
giving joy to other people to please them.
Right.
It's just that that's just the type of energy I bring out.
Mm-hmm.
So my purpose in life has always been kind of going with the flow,
Mm-hmm.
and I just go with the flow, and whatever life throws at me, I either deal with it or I overcome it, and
There you go. So
that's just how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Let-
Hopefully later on, as right now I'm grinding every day, and I wake up every day with a mindset where like, if I'm not gonna do it, who's gonna do it? So I really need to step it up, and I know I do, but sometimes I feel like I could be doing more
Oh yeah, definitely.
all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully as later on, I know real estate will go good.
It will.
love
It's only gonna get
believe
better.
that we're all hustling really hard. We're here every day, and there's no way that we're not gonna do good. I see potential in all of us and in our group, and we've been doing good.
I think my purpose in life is to help my family, because, well, I'm a DACA, I'm a dreamer, and my parents crossed the border just to give us a better life. So I feel like my duty is to show them that I'm working hard for that sacrifice they did, because it's very hard to come from a different country to a whole different environment that's different culture, different language, and then you leave your whole family behind and you can't even visit them because so I really just want to do everything that my parents didn't have the opportunity to do, like for example, be financially stable, travel, help them live comfortably, because to me success is not only me doing it, but also my family doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure what my purpose is as of yet, but right now what I'm aiming for is also like what Jackie kind of said. I want to make sure that not only myself, but my family is set up for success for the rest of their lives as well. I don't want them to have to worry about anything. I want them to live comfortably and do what they want to do rather than have to stress about working from check to check. I want them to have like financial security so they
Yeah.
can just live the rest of their life without at least that stress,
Mhm.
because there's already so many stressors in life. If I could like alleviate that one, I would feel better about the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too sure what my purpose is, but what I want to do is pick up from where my dad leaves off and kind of take the business and grow it, like I said, and then also help my family. And like, there's a lot of people that are in poverty and it doesn't get talked about much, and I would like to build like a foundation and kind of just not only help myself and my family, but those that are also struggling out there that no one, really feels for, no one really talks about. So yeah.
That's my purpose too. I believe my purpose in life is to make a difference in someone's life for the better. I grew up in a house, or I don't want to call it a home because it wasn't quite that yet. It wasn't that at that moment. It was a house that had a lot of abuse and different things that happened growing up. I think growing up minority is pretty tough back in the 70s and 80s. Unfortunately, my father was murdered at the age of 9, which had to automatically give me the role of father to my siblings, which taught me a lot of things. It taught me how to be responsible. It taught me how to want more. I started working at 13 and never looked back. I am tired, so thank you for stepping in and trying to help me. And I did whatever I had to do to help my mother with my siblings, including if I had to miss school to get my sisters and my brother to class on time, I would. And a lot of things that I learned because of that. I learned how to cook, clean, and everything. I just know everything, but for me, it's like I can always learn more. But I want to learn to be able to earn and to be able to make so much money, enough for where it can I can spread it out to everyone, because it's not just about my immediate family, it's about my family in general, and spill out to strangers and help make a difference in someone's life. Because every Thanksgiving and Christmas we give out to abused families whatever we can at that moment. But if I had more, I could give more. And for me, it's like the more I give, the more I get, the more I give. And I believe in growing together and not by myself. And this is why we're starting this podcast, because at the same time, we can teach other people what they may not know, and they can learn it in the hour and a half that we put into this podcast.
Yeah.
But my purpose is to educate, teach, and bless, because we are blessed. Every day we're blessed. The minute we open our eyes, God gave us another day, so let's bless others.
Definitely. I think for me, growing up with a single mom, you kind of see the sacrifices she has to go through. Whether in the case when my dad was incarcerated at a young age, even though when he wasn't incarcerated, he wasn't really there, you know?
Right.
So you look at the sacrifice she went through, and then you just, for me, my purpose is like, everything I do is for her and my sisters, to take care of them, and not for only now, but in the long run. I know what I envision in her life, and I want to just give my mom the things that she couldn't do when we were young, so she can do now and enjoy the rest of her life and live stress-free. And then that whole journey, I want to get back to my whole family, because if I put on, I want my whole family to be able to put on, so none of us struggle. No.
The other one is a pet peeve. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I have.
I have one too.
All right.
Not about each other.
No, not about each other. General.
In general, I'm a clean freak.
Okay.
I like things to be in its place all the time. Everything needs to be in its certain spot. And it's funny because here I share office with Hector and Jackie. And Jackie's a flower person. Oh, she loves her flowers. So her flowers are dying sometimes. And like, there's like petals on the floor and around that. Like, how hard is it just to like pick it up, you know, and like just throw it away?
He went crazy though.
And then Hector, I don't know what stains his desk all the time. I don't know what it is, but by the end of the day, there's like ink. A lot of it being ink. I don't know if it's his mouse or something.
Probably.
But before I leave, like I always get the degreaser and I wipe her dead flowers out of there. And then Hector's, I always wipe down his stains from like ink or paper, or I don't know what it is, but that's one of my major pet peeves.
For me, I just don't like when people chew with their mouth open. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
like a New Yorker, some New Yorkers.
Yeah. Or if you're eating chips and you're chewing, I'm like, I won't say nothing, but it's in my head. I'm like,
Why looking at Jackie? No, I'm just kidding.
Mine is like a little deep. It's like I don't like when people think they know what I'm thinking. Like they get the wrong.
The assumptions.
It's just, yeah,
The
they
assumption.
get the wrong assumptions.
elaborate, like in what sense, like.
Like
Actually,
if someone thinks I'm mad but I'm not mad, that makes me
Oh,
mad.
and they go, why you mad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, I know when she's mad. No, she ain't talking to me because I know when she's mad.
When I'm
She
hungry.
goes straight to her damn room. Like she's mad right now. I can hear her growling.
Yeah, my stomach's growling.
It's okay, you'll eat right now.
Yeah.
I can't think of a pet peeve right now. I guess I'm also a clean freak, but not as extreme as you.
That's OCD.
I think I could deal with it, but I don't know. I don't really have a pet peeve that bugs me that bad to where it like affects me, I guess.
I have a few, but
I know one of your pet peeves.
What
if
is
something's
it?
not hung up the right way, you get so mad.
I know, but like with work, I don't
You're
know.
like, it doesn't go like
Just in
that.
general.
And then she like
just in general, like pet peeves, like
Fingers.
from. I mean, it could be work related. It doesn't have to be work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know if
one.
this counts, but my biggest pet peeve is when someone lies.
Yeah.
Lies?
I hate
Yeah.
you.
I wish that's everyone's pet
when you
peeve.
know they're lying too, you're like, why are you lying for?
I just hate it because I'm a very understanding person, and if you just tell me the truth straight up, I'd rather
You should have an
that
issue.
than you be lying to me.
Because they're thinking
Yeah.
that you're thinking that you're gonna get mad.
Yeah.
They're thinking
you're gonna
it's
judge
the
them.
assumption. So my pet peeve is when I ask people to ask questions and they don't ask them. It's like, why aren't you asking me? Like, ask me the question. It's for your own good, not for my
I know,
own
Sam.
good.
We all hide.
You know what I mean? It's like not for my own good. It's for your own good. So ask the question. It's not gonna hurt anyone. I think an unasked question is a dumb question because there's no question.
That's
you know?
true.
That's one of my pet peeves. Another one is also the chewing part. I know when people chew, like, damn, like you're just like crunching in my ear, right? It's not one of those TikTok videos where it's exciting to hear the
ASMR?
noise, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exciting to hear.
Yeah, and another pet
You guys
peeve.
watch that?
I just like slide through on on my For You page, and then it pops up.
Another pet peeve is when people don't look at their emails
Oh yeah.
and then respond to me 3 days later like, "Oh, thank you for the email. Oh, okay, the class was yesterday."
Well,
That's another pet
since
peeve.
Ralphie called me out, my biggest pet
Oh,
my biggest pet peeve from him and Hector
oof.
is that
I'm going into this.
I always send them stuff so it's helpful for them, right?
Right.
And then 3 days
They
later,
ask you.
Jackie, can you send me this?
I must say one thing
Jackie,
when
can
she's
you
done.
send me a copy of this? And I'm like, dude, I sent it to your email like 3 days ago, and you're supposed to save it into your computer and put it in a little file so
Like
when you
refer
need
back
it,
to
you
it.
go back to it instead of always asking me for it. And yeah,
I was smart about it though. I had her actually send me her whole file, so now I transfer her whole file to my computer. And I have all her office docs online.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, sometimes I just like to see how much I can get out of her, and I like to mess with her. So sometimes I already have it, but I have her send it to me.
yeah.
Because it's just funny.
Yeah.
Because that's the relationship. We have.
I have those agents too. You send it to them, and they're like, "Oh, I know I saw it, but can you just send it to me again?" And I'm like, "Dude, go into your damn history. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But anyways, we'll
Gmail
go on
goes
to the
so
next
far,
question
right?
because then we're gonna
for
put
real,
people away.
she's gonna keep going. So
We're gonna put people away.
So we'll start, Ruben. When did you start real estate?
Started real estate. I had mentioned the story of how I started real estate. I started in 2001. It took me started in March of 2001. It took me about 9 months to get. No, it's actually 7 months to get my license because I had to study, try to survive, take care of 2 kids with $3,000 in the bank account, and apply for other things in between. So it took me a little longer than it should have. But I started in 2001, and I have not looked back since, and I apologize for that.
I started a few months ago. I want to say like, is it 2 months now? 3.
And you and Kristen started at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we started at the same time.
I'd say 3 months.
Yeah,
We started
because
3
I wanted to
months
start
ago.
young. Since I'm still 18, my goal was to get my license at 18 and close my first deal at 18.
I've been in the real estate world since 18,
Okay.
but I didn't really grasp it as much because I was kind of like self-teaching myself because at the office I wasn't really mentored or like taught things right until I came here. That's when I was like, oh, that's why I do that all the time. Oh, everything makes sense now. Now I get how things
It was
connect.
piecing together.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then I got my license December 2021, and now I'm like what?
You're on your 7 months.
7 months in to real estate.
But experience for all of you guys is like way beyond this time frame that you had to
Oh,
your
yeah.
license.
But yeah, I feel way more confident now than when I first started.
Yeah.
For me, I got licensed in December too as well, and I was mentoring last year too as well, probably like 6 months before I passed my license. So I was mentored with loans, learned about credit and the real estate side, so that was nice because I was able to connect. Everything I've learned in the book, I knew how it worked, and I knew the meaning of it, but I never knew how
To apply.
and how to apply it. So once I got my license and everything, I felt like I was not like able to master it, but I was able to feel really confident with like what I was doing right away.
Yeah, I think for me, next month will be exactly a year where I started learning real estate with you guys, and then I passed my exam December. I got licensed in March because of a whole name change situation, but we won't get into that. But let's talk about our 3 most influential people in our life.
Mine is my dad, Ariana, and Fabian, which is my brother, my sister.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I do struggle mentally. So my dad knows how to like really keep me positive and motivated.
Right.
And then Ariana and Fabian, they're just like when I'm sad or like when I don't know who to turn to, they've always been there for me. And me and Ariana used to have our little sleepovers, like, and she kept me company so that I wouldn't think negatively. Like I didn't have the time to think negatively, so that really helped.
Yeah, I think the 3 most influential people in my life would be my grandma, my grandpa, and my uncle. They all took part in raising me. My uncle and my grandpa obviously were the father figure, and my grandma the mother figure. And so they just stepped in and created who I am today. They taught me like right from wrong, and they just basically raised me to who I am.
And I
thank them for that.
So for me, the first one was short-lived, which was my father. Unfortunately, he was assassinated when I was 9, but he left a major impact in my life that helped me be who I became. Because of his absence, I became a stronger person. I mean, it kind of happened by accident. I didn't expect not to have a father, but he was my first one. My second one. I mean, and not in any order, but God, right? God. I mean, God is like, if you're gonna put order, then I'll put him first.
Okay.
But you know, God was, or God is one of my influence, my number one influence, along with my mother. Because of what I went through and everything, I became who I am also. You know, she did struggle. She was a single mom. She did have a drinking problem because of that. But it made me realize that people suffer in different ways and turn to different things to be able to help with that. And that's why I'm able to talk to Alexis or talk to any of you guys when you're going through some sort of mental setback. I know what it is to be on that side and feeling the way when you're depressed or you have anxiety, but I also know what it took for me to get out of it. And of course, I'm gonna go with 4. Is you guys. Every single one of you guys gives me a reason to be here the next day, even though I'm tired and I don't get much sleep, and yes, like I said, I have anxiety and stuff like that. You guys are the reason why I reload and have energy and passion to teach you guys to be the best you guys can be, because I firmly believe that every single one of you guys will be super successful, and all you have to do is just follow my lead, and then you guys can take it from there, you know. So those are my
Yeah,
advice.
for me, more than 3 obviously, but I would say the main 3 would be my Uncle Steve, my mom, and my Uncle Ruben. This is Ruben right here. My Uncle Steve, because like I said, growing up I really didn't have that father figure, and then, you know, growing up, going through different things like body changes and everything, you know, you go to like 12, 13, 14, there's a lot of things you don't want to tell your mom, and you're like, even though me and my mom have a good relationship, you just don't want to tell her these things. So for him, like, he taught me right from wrong and dealing with women and things like that. So and
Birds
he's
and
like,
the bees.
oh yeah, that's it. That was a funny conversation. And then my mom, for sure, because like I said, she's my rock. Everything I do is for her, and we have a great relationship. And now I can tell her anything because we have a more like sister brother relationship. So I mess around with her, she messes around with me. And then my Uncle Ruben too, because that's another like father figure I have in my life, and then he inspires me every day. So I aspire to be like him.
Thank you.
So moving. Oh, and God too, because without God, you know, nothing is possible in this life, obviously.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amen to that.
But if you guys can be remembered for one thing in this life, what would it be? That's a good one.
Be anywhere. So for me, I'll start with me, I guess. It's more of I want to be remembered not for what money I made or what I had or what I owned, because I'm not really materialistic. I want to be remembered more for making a difference in someone's life. You know, I want to start foundations, like Alexa said, or start something that's going to help give back. Because I believe that we're born into. Everyone has a purpose when you're born, right? I mean, not to sound stupid or cheesy or trying to be funny here, but if you outswam, I say it funny, right? If you one sperm cell beats out 1 million or 2 million sperm cells, you have a purpose. Exactly. You're a winner by birth. You know, you're a winner by birth. And I believe that you guys, I believe that making a difference in someone's life has a lot to do with many things. And I do want to help people that are lower income people, distress, you know, in unfortunate circumstances, to be able to help them be, you know, get out of whatever it is and give back, and you know, and just want to make a difference in someone's life. I don't want to be remembered for anything else other than being, I guess you can call it humanitarian.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So call it humanitarian. But yeah, that's me.
For me, I haven't really thought about that too much because I feel like I'm very young. But I don't know. For me, I think just looking at you and how you inspire others, I think as I get older and segue more into my career, I want to be able to teach like you and to inspire others as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I want to live longer, by the way.
Yeah.
I would like to be remembered as a kind person that people were able to learn from in a certain way. Maybe not like work-wise, maybe just like
General,
like just like advice, kind of like, because I've always been kind of like a role model to my sister, So every day I kind of like live up to the role model
Expectations.
expectations that she looks up to. Because I've noticed that little siblings always like to copy what
Yeah.
you do, and I really want to be a good example for her and many others. So
I think that's what comes with being the oldest, huh? And
yeah,
for sure.
I'm actually the oldest.
Just because you're the oldest doesn't mean you can't get bullied, right?
Well,
That's true. That's true.
I feel like that's what that is for me too. Like I want to be a good example to my siblings that are younger, because I do have a lot of older siblings, but they never really did the right thing. So I would be the first of the eldest for my brother and my sister to do right and to teach them to follow my pathway and to not go, segue into any other pathway that won't lead them into great direction.
True.
Good mentorship.
I would say mine's along the same lines. Even though my siblings and I aren't physically close, we're still very emotionally connected. And so I still want to lead them on a good path and then just keep them going the right direction.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, same. For me, it's I want to be remembered as as a kind person. I am kind. I'm a nice person. I am very positive. I'm very joyful. I'm like very bubbly,
True.
and I just want to be remembered by someone honest,
Yeah.
with pure intentions.
Well, obviously, we all have been in real estate for a good amount of time. We are licensed now. So let's talk about some challenges we faced when we first started, because I know a bunch of us had a bunch of challenges for sure.
We all were challenged by staying driven and motivated.
Mhm.
Like there's some days
Discipline.
where it's very tough to
Mhm.
even get up, more or less come in and like stay focused and attend meetings and participate, not just attend.
Right.
So that's something we've all struggled with, from what I can say.
Yeah. I think for me, like starting
Mhm.
was leaving everything behind and becoming self-employed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was one of them. And then after that, my drive is you guys. Or like also like Mr. Ruben and Yvonne, the fact that like they like gave us a place to like hang our license and like push us every morning, like they have gone above and beyond to like put us where we're at now, and like having the opportunity to be here with you guys and sharing this has been a gift from God, I think.
Yeah. Wait, this is something I want to say because Yvonne's not here, but
Right.
like I really do look up to her.
I
Because like she does things
Yeah.
on her own as a woman.
She does,
And like
and she
she's
does.
very strong and determined. And she's seen me grow up since I was probably
Little.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually the one who said, you know what, I see you struggling. I see what you're going through. And she had to go through like crash course like you guys did.
Right.
I actually give her a harder time because I'm like, dude, help me with this client, this, and that. But I wasn't really successful then because I had to bring up my own water stuff. We had a smaller office. We had secondhand cubicles and all that stuff. But I believe that you have to start and take off somewhere. And Yvonne actually came in and said, let me help you. And I'll never forget the day we unloaded a U-Haul truck. A U-Haul truck by ourselves. I didn't want to bother my siblings, because they all have their own life and stuff like that, and a couple of my siblings were going through some problems, so I had to figure it out. Thanks to that workout, though, I lost 5 pounds. But anyways, we unloaded the truck, and then she said, you know what, I'll help you from here. And honestly, you know what, she's been pretty solid. Although sometimes, it's hard to approach her because she gets a little upset and she's busy, but she still has your guys' back, and she speaks highly of all you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you that right now, she speaks highly of you guys.
Yeah.
And it might seem like she might not be approachable all the time, which is half right. She's got your guys' back, and I think last week she took on something that was really cool on her own. I didn't say anything, right? But she figured, hey, let me help this other broker who's on one leg right now, and let's do that because I have a million other things going on too, So,
Yeah. Like,
Well, I remember when we'd come in and like help you paint walls. Like she'd sit there, but
Yeah.
we'd be here for like 8
Yeah.
hours.
painting walls and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? We have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
True.
No,
Like,
yeah.
Stop-
Yvonne is super helpful in like a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think that it's like every mentor has different teaching styles.
Yes.
Like I do like the way Mr. Ruben teaches. He mentors us really well. I
Yeah.
feel, and with Yvonne, I like her way of teaching. It's more like you're gonna it's more of a critical thinking way where like she advises you on what to do, but you need to take initiative on it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then from there you gotta see like where you get stuck. It's where you like can go up to her, and like for her it's more of like that hardcore teaching.
Right.
And I feel like Mr. Ruben, it's a good. They're both really good
They
ways
have
and
their own
balances.
ways.
Good at motivating too, which is good because you need to stay motivated and driven.
Mhm.
And then for her, like I just appreciate how she really likes to hold us accountable and meet with us weekly.
Yeah.
Like she's just like, oh, I bought you this book and and it's sent to your house. So you're gonna get it tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay, damn,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, it's like I want you to read that, and then we're gonna meet again. And I'm like, things like that you appreciate, you know. And I've known her for a long time, and she's always done things like that for me growing up. So that's very cool. But being in this business, obviously, there's a lot of misconception about what we do. So
Yeah,
what are some
there's a lot.
Yeah, what are some common myths that you guys heard about us, real estate agents?
Well, the show Selling Sunset is just a myth in itself. There's like this big facade and persona that they have to put on,
Yeah.
and it's not all luxury and like this lifestyle that everyone thinks it is.
Right.
It actually costs money just to even market yourself to
Yeah.
start somewhere, and you never just start real estate and it's just all luxury. Like you have
Yeah.
to start somewhere and work your way up.
They make real estate seem like it's an easy bag when you actually like they don't show what happens behind the scene.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
filling out all the contracts, knowing how to fill out all the contracts.
Mhm.
There's like a lot of knowledge we have to take in.
Mhm.
It's just not show a house, get paid.
Yeah.
There's like
so
loans
much other
involved too,
stuff.
and they don't even show that at
Yeah.
all.
They probably don't do
Mhm.
loans, right? Because loans is a whole different thing, right? That's
Yeah.
like you're using your how much of
Mhm.
your brain on real estate? Oh, let me tap into the other
The loan
chunk
side,
of the brain,
yeah.
which is the loan side. So not everyone can take on it.
Mhm.
I agree with
It's
Solid
better
Sunset.
to know
It's-
real
it's-
estate and loans though, because a lot of clients have a lot of questions, and if you know both, you're more knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially depending what type of market we're in. If you have a
Mhm.
buyer,
Yeah.
sometimes you can go to. I was going to Victorville. I would show like 8 houses. No offers would get accepted. I would still go back the following day, then the next weekend,
Yeah.
and it can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot of people they don't appreciate, and some do appreciate because I don't say all of them don't. It's because we really do get a bad rep because there is some bad agents like that. But we know we do like to go above and beyond for
Mhm.
our clients, and they don't see the little things that we put in to get
Right.
deals closed. You know?
I think in a good environment, we don't have the drama you see on Selling Sunset. They create drama for
Yeah.
TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Broker allows that. I'm not gonna say nothing about Jason and company, but you know, we don't have that here. We don't have that type of time, and we're not here for TV. We're here to make a difference in someone's life. And we don't sell Sunset. We sell California. That's what our business is good for.
Yeah.
You know.
With that being said, what would you guys want our clients to understand about what we do?
Behind the scenes, we do put in a lot of work. There's a
Mhm.
lot of little things we do
I
to
agree.
make up for something huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know.
And that everything is for their best interest. Like even like I always like make sure to look at all scenarios possible and see what's more convenient for them.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with like losing money sometimes, just to like
Yeah.
help them out more
Put their
and
best
as much as
interest
possible. Or
Losing money, Jackie. That's one of those things that you did on your first 2 deals.
I know.
So, what piece of advice would you guys give people who are getting into the business or want to get into the business? You know, they may not know where to start.
to know your vocab if you're starting to study
Mhm.
for your exam, and besides that, is to be mentally prepared, and it's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle a lot. Not every deal is going to go through, so don't get excited when you find a lead or anything like that. Get excited when you have escrow open, and when escrow is open, don't even get too excited because there's hopes. There's not hopes, but there could be a chance that escrow might not even close. You still have 30 days of escrow on top of that,
Yeah.
Right.
and to have savings.
Yeah.
Have a good amount of savings so you're not stressing about and grabbing that type of energy towards you because you
Yeah.
don't know when you're going to get paid.
I would say if you're gonna get into it, put in your 100% effort, have
Mhm.
savings, and then educate yourself as much as possible. Because the
Yeah.
more you know, the more you can teach, and then
Yeah.
the more you can teach, the more people.
You have to be all in or nothing, I feel.
And like
Yeah.
you said, educate yourself, so not just on real estate, but like the legalities of it
Yeah.
and everything else that comes with it.
I just feel like the first year is super hard, and a lot of agents don't tell you that. They just show you the part where they're already striving, glowing in their business. But the first year is really about like if you're gonna decide to go self-employed, I recommend you have savings so you can focus on marketing, because marketing can cost some type of money and it is time consuming. Like you think doing a little stamp and doing your cute flyers, like it takes time. And then you kind of have to like see what works for you. If mail outs work for you, if cold calling works for you, it's really like you're just like learning as you go and experimenting, because it's tough.
Yeah. As you said, it's good to keep track of what works for you and what doesn't. That way you can see where to invest your money in more.
Right.
You know, like, oh, like, is it calling, or should I just go buy more stamps and do more mail outs? At the end of the day, it's good to know your stats.
And everything comes out of your pocket. Like, we have to pay ink, paper, like, everything is on you now. You don't have like a little company that's gonna be like, yeah, I'll buy you the ink, I'll buy you the paper. No. And then you realize like, oh wow, it's expensive.
There are some companies that will do that for you guys, but you start off at 25%.
Yeah. Just no
thank you.
But you do get the write-offs are good, so.
Yeah, well, for me, it's just get into it for the right reasons. Don't get into it for the wrong reasons. Get your license, not just to hang it, and that's it. Apply it, but at the same time, get into it for the right reasons. I mean, try to help the people out. They're turning to you with their biggest investment. Please do not try to just sell them on something that's not even true. Like, well, you know what? Close the deal, and then when you close, I'll give you a commission, and we'll convert your garage into a house. Well, you better have a $60,000 commission to be able to do that. And why would you do that? You know, don't do a sales pitch and then lie and walk away. So you know, help them accommodate the client. Which I've always said, it's not just a customer, right? If you make it long term, it's a client, you know. So you keep the client, and they will refer you people based on your intentions, and they can tell. Believe me, they can tell if their intentions are good or bad when it comes to.
People know.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, if you want to give us a little shout out, where do we work and how big is our team?
So we are Golden Feather Investments. We have a sister company, Your Home Real Estate, sister company, Your Credit Solutions, sister company, Merck Capital Funding, and a sister company, a big one coming, which is Creas. We are about 45 agents with 4 staff members. I'm not about getting agents in the numbers. I'm about getting the numbers in the agents. You know what I mean?
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, and we were located in Riverside, Compton, and Downey, but unfortunately COVID shut us down. We had to make adjustments, but we're here. I believe that this company, besides being full service, we can outperform bigger offices out there, and I'm proud to say that because I've seen numbers and I've heard of numbers. But yeah, we're Golden Feather Investments, so we're going to take it from here, and hopefully we're all talking to each other from one yacht to the other.
Nah, the next question is a good one because I believe it's subjective to everybody. But would you guys call yourself successful?
I'll tell you. I'll start with me, then give you guys time to think. So success for me, no, I am not. I am not where I need to be. Successful for me would be when, first of all of you guys are successful, plus my other agents. When I make enough money to be able to share it with other people, that doesn't have to be. I mean, where I'm able to do things for nonprofit, you know what I mean, and we're able to help other people out. If I can make a difference in someone's life, for me, successful would mean that I would have to do a lot more than what I'm doing now. Hence why I'm doing the Creas app, right? If that takes off like I think it will, and the money that's coming, which I think it will, you know, I'm manifesting it, I'm asking God to help me with that. I am going to bless others along the way. And when that does happen, and I see that I help make a difference in more than just 40, 50, 60, 70 people in their lives, then I would consider myself successful at that point, yeah.
Nice. For me, I would say I am successful in my mindset and where I want to go, and I'm going towards the path of being more successful. When it comes to financial, I'm not where I want to be, but I know where I want to be, and that's ultimately what matters to me the most.
Sir?
Yeah.
I'd say I'm not successful until my physical and mental is
Where you want it to be.
where I want it to be.
Yeah, I'd say mentally I'm successful because I know, like, I have my goals and I have like this kind of path of how I'm going to achieve all the goals I have set for me.
Right.
But once I achieve those goals, then I'll finally like consider myself successful.
To me, success is mental health, health in general, waking up, loving what I do, being able to help my family, not only myself, and being financially comfortable. to the point where my family's comfortable as well. So I don't consider myself successful because my mental health is like, because I'm like my worst critic, and I'm trying to work on that. And also I've been trying to like cut out people that if you don't bring peace into my life and you disturb my peace, I just don't want you to be part of my life, because I really just want genuine people around me. Like for example, this team, you guys bring supportive energy, genuine energy. There's no hate, there's no competition. We support each other and we all want to see each other successful, because I believe the sun comes out for everybody.
Right.
So there's no need to be like, oh my gosh, she got a listing, how did she do that? I should have gotten that, you know? Like I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And it's more like, oh,
It
now I
should
need to
be.
get my shit together and go out there and get one too, you know?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, financially, I am not successful, and I never really cared about. Yeah, money is nice, but for me, success comes with me is being content within me. Just because I think that's really important for everyone. Like if you're content within yourself and you have all your mentality really well, there's nothing that can get in your way. You know, I think in life, it's always about, you can be happy, but it's like, are you really happy? Like money, I feel like for me, money doesn't really buy happiness, but I feel like friends do. Friends, your circle, who you surround yourself by, and doing the things that you like, do bring. So I feel like I do consider myself successful in a way where I do have a good circle around me, and I really have a very positive team who really push me every day, which I really enjoy, and I'm glad to have met all of you guys and having God put me in your guys' path.
Have you guys ever thought about giving up? Because I know I have, for sure.
Reading.
Recently I haven't, but you know, sometimes you do get in your own head. But it's all about just remembering where you want to go
Mm-hmm.
and why you started. So
Yeah.
Yep. I would say no. I would not quit. I'm not gonna
There you
start
go.
something I can't finish.
There you
And there's some people that would like to see me out, and those are usually your haters that you will all have. So I'm not giving anybody the pleasure, but because I'm not the type of person that starts something he can't finish, no, and I'm not finished.
Yeah, no. I hold myself accountable to everything.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, I have a love-hate relationship with real estate. Like, there's certain encounters that I have with certain clients, or like just certain transactions that make you think like, why did I sign up for this, you know? But at the end of the day, I know this is what I want to be doing for the rest of my life, and how much I can grow every day. So it's a love-hate relationship. Of course, I'm gonna be like, oh, I kind of want to give up, but I'm not gonna actually give up.
Yeah.
Now, is that a motto you guys live by? Like, what is a motto you guys live by to help you guys through the daily, you know, ups and downs?
For me, it's I wake up every day,
Yeah.
and I don't stress really things I can control, but I just wake up every day, and I feel like I've hit rock bottom before, just like mentally, and I didn't like the way it felt, and then ever since that day, I told myself I never wanted to make myself feel like that.
Nice.
So every day I just wake up, and I'm actually thankful to see another day, and having the fact that you can change your day and your life by your thoughts and
Yeah.
by what you want to do. That's my motto every day. It's you can change whatever you want. It's just for you if you want to take action in it or not. It could be tough sometimes, you know, especially depending on the circumstances you can be given, but
Oh yeah, of course.
Live every day as if it were your last day.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me to
Mhm.
quote the late great Kobe Bryant is to be better today than you were yesterday, and get better every other day. So,
I don't know. I just take everything day by day.
yeah, definitely.
Practice makes perfect, though.
Question for you, Ruben. What
Yeah.
makes our brokerage different?
My goodness. Number one, we're always looking to adjust to the market. Not every broker does that. I'm not saying anything about anyone, but try to get a hold of a broker, see how long it takes you to get someone on there. So we make ourselves accessible, available, right, 24/7. We're willing to talk to your clients. We're always learning different different things with the market. We're full service. We do credit restoration.
Yeah.
We're doing we do credit restoration. We do everything, and then we also get involved with you, try to help you guys get out of whatever whatever slump you're in, or if you're I don't want to say mentally setback, but if you're going through some sort of stress or whatever, we also kind of want to talk to you about that and make you just feel better about life, because at the end of the day, there's that saying that goes, not everybody lives but everybody dies type of thing. It's like, dude, let's just live and let live, right? And let's live the best we can, and let's just enjoy life, because I mean, shoot, the next second's not guaranteed to make the best out of everyone. So, but yeah, that's what we're just different in the sense that we also get business and personal, I guess.
It's also because, like, you and Yvonne, as our brokers, you guys don't chase the money.
No,
You guys chase, like...
not even clout. Not even clout.
Yeah, and every other broker, I feel like they chase the money, and it's all about showing off
And
what
clout.
they have.
Yeah, and clout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they want to make a name for themselves.
Yeah,
It's
seriously. They're like out there like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to make a name for yourself by showing what you have. Like,
This is the only broker I know that doesn't have a name outside of the building. Or any, any type of advertisement.
I'm trying to get it out there now.
Yeah, because you see a lot of different brokers, and different brokerages sell their soul in a sense just to look good and like look corny.
Or I've seen so many agents that have to advertise more the company than themselves, and I like that here. It's like, no, make your own image. Try to make your own
Brand yourself.
brand
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah,
instead
brand
of worrying about, no, you have to do my company, blah blah.
Yeah, definitely. I know because I'm talking to a lot of my peers, and like they ask me what company I work for, and then they hear like the big names, and they ask me why I don't work for a big name like that, and then I think they would have to come inside our brokerage to see how we work, and then they would know why I'd rather stay here.
It's just, it feels more like a family
Exactly.
instead of like.
Especially if you know more than them and they've been doing this for a long time.
Exactly.
It tells you where they're going wrong and where you guys are going right.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll be here every
Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
We'll be here every Friday. Hector, thanks for asking the questions, and we'll take turns taking questions, asking questions or whatever. We'll be talking about loans,
Real
risk and
estate.
financing.
credit, hobbies
bit
to
about
help you
us.
with stress, a little bit about us. We can't be silly together. I know we can. So mix 5 people in their 20s up with someone that's almost 50.
It is 30.
21.
And you get like free. Thank you. I'm signing out. Ruben.
Feel free to comment any questions you want to be answered
Or
in
any
our next
topics.
video, or any topics you want covered. And also bear with us on this whole podcasting thing, because
We're
we're
new.
really getting the hang of it. We're newbies.
we'll
We're
get better.
trying.
We will definitely get better.
Don't be shy. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.